Looking back at 2024, and in the Asian context, one of the key themes I found really exciting was the increasing pragmatism and kind of realism coming into emerging forms of money and money movement. Um, and this was across both the business models that are evolving as well as the application of technology. So I see a lot of real examples that have evolved in 2024, and I think that's also a theme I look forward to in 2025. Let's take the example of cross-border instant payments. So we've obviously seen the region evolve and mature bilateral connections to an extent. And that's perhaps an achievement in itself, starting with the Singapore-Thailand connection long back. But in reality, the conversation now has evolved to a point where people have clearly realized and stated that multilateral connections and platforms make more sense. So that's one kind of pragmatism point right there. There were markets, with services like India, for example, had a inward instant payment service where they could allow cross-border payments into IMPS long back. That has scaled and adopted, for example, GPI Instant from Swift, and other services as well integrated into that. So again, scaling up and adopting a very pragmatic and real manner. Nexus, as again, poster child, and as I often say, it's almost a group of best practices on cross-border, instant interlinking has evolved as well. So with the phase 3 report being published recently, it has now evolved to a state where there's an independent organization, an NSO, which will be housed in Singapore, and governance structure, as well as various parts of the organization itself, which has been designed to start essentially working for next year and evolving into a real life mechanism. It's also been joined by the initial ASEAN 4 and India by the ECB, giving it more weight and giving it more, again, coverage globally. So that I see again as a very interesting and pragmatic move from being a blueprint to an actual organization. And also in the recent announcement at the Singapore FinTech Festival, the DMD of MAS, Sing Cheong, he mentioned that they will look at in the future aspects like tokenized assets or CBDCs, etc., as an extension of what Nexus is, which is again something which is very relevant and real from the current end user perspective. On the technology side, I look at something like AI, and the Gartner hype cycle kind of says even on Gen AI it has reached a maturity where it's past the peak of inflated expectations. And yet, even though it's mature, the ask is actually to look at more composite forms of AI, including traditional or looking at methodologies like machine learning and language processing, etc., to remain grounded in applicable forms of AI. To use cases, and that's really great because I see examples like in Malaysia where a national fraud portal was launched, and over there with the idea was to actually use AI as an overlay to support tracking identification of money movement between mule accounts in real time. And this is, I believe, a world's first again. And it has already it launched in August, and it's already seen reduction in tracing of stolen funds by 75% in 30 minutes, basically in terms of time, and they've improved the detection of mule accounts by 14%. So great stats, and again, a great example of how fraud in the instant payments world is evolving, becoming more real, becoming more mature. And I look forward to seeing these kind of business model and technology enhancements more and maturing into real life pragmatic application in 2025. Thank you.